You've built a business on hustle, discipline, sweat. But if your brand's invisible, your growth is limited. Welcome to Growth Mode On, the podcast for business owners who don't have time for fluff, filters, or creative genius. We're here to help you flip the switch, build your brand, and grow your business with real talk, smart strategy, and a dose of healthy hustle. Whether you're on the move, in the gym, or grinding through your next big goal, this show gives you the branding, marketing, and YouTube insight you need to scale with clarity, not chaos.
I'm Jill.
I'm Eric.
And this is Growth Mode On. Let's get to work.
We didn't start this podcast to talk about branding fluff or viral trends. We started it because too many smart, hardworking business owners are invisible, and they don't even realize it. This is for the builders, the movers, the disciplined, health-minded doers who don't think of themselves as creative, but still want to grow. Welcome back to our show, Growth Mode On. And today we're going to be talking about Googling yourself. So, got a second, while you're listening to this, if you're sitting in front of a computer, go ahead and type your name into the Google search bar and see what happens. And I did it with Jill, and we're actually looking at it right now, right, Jill?
Yeah.
So what do you think? You pulled up, we Googled Eric Calderon, and of course the goal is to get on the front page with your own name.
Right, which for you is very successful.
Right.
Because I can see you have many platforms plus your website, so it's ideal.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I've Googled myself many times in the past, and I wasn't like this. Like in the past, it wasn't me that would pop up. It was like other Eric Calderon.
Especially because your name is popular.
Very popular. I mean, there's probably like millions of Eric Calderons. Which I used to think that I was the only one. That doesn't happen to you? No. Not at all. I mean, I thought I was special.
Oh. No, you are.
I thought I was until I Googled myself. That reminds me too. You know how when you're a little kid, you think you're perfect? So one day I was my brother and I were just wanted to see how perfect our feet are. So we measured our feet.
Aww,
and then,
that's really cute.
And then one of my feet was bigger than the other, and it shattered my world of perfection.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is really funny. But anyways, so back to the Google yourself deal. And then, we're talking about this, right, to talk about branding. And so Jill, what do you think about why would someone want to Google themselves for personal brand?
Well, first you have to see, do you even pop up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main reason. Okay, do I pop up on Google? In your case, yes, I'm looking at all the options for you. So it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and your website. There's another random one that I know is not you, but right beneath it, there is your Martial Arts Academy website.
Yeah.
So pretty much Google yourself to see, okay, how visible am I as of today?
And what should someone be looking for when they Google themselves? What kind of consistency, what kind of things should they be looking for those searches?
Well, definitely logos, updated profile pictures that include a logo, like you can tell it's a business. Also the headline. Your headline, let's see, because you're talking about the Aikido classes. Yeah, I can tell very quickly, okay, he teaches martial arts. Yeah. This is the person I'm looking for. Yeah. So the headlines and the branding have to be consistent.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, because I see like it says for Instagram, want better breath, better focus, and better energy. That's about health, right? Then on my YouTube, train less, improve more. Oh, so that's my latest video, actually. That's the latest video that I made that was about, I took 2 weeks off and it had a negative impact on my climbing. So that's actually the video. So Google is pulling up the title and the description of my latest YouTube video.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all. I didn't know that was your latest video.
Yeah. And which is interesting because in the past, I remember I read a book on SEO maybe 15 years ago. And it was it would take 6 to 12 months for you to rank on Google. If you put your URL in, you create your website, and it would take 6 to 12 months. But I made that video 2 weeks ago, and it's popping up on the front page.
Oh, well, that's very positive.
That's very positive. Yeah, Google is moving fast, which is great because now people can actually update their brand much faster when they're on Google.
And it's also important to talk about SEO, tags, hashtags, because that also plays a big role into it too.
Yeah. And if you don't know what SEO and hashtags are, SEO is search engine optimization. So that's when you're creating content so that it's searchable. So let's say I want to be discovered as an Aikido master. So when I write an article, I would include my name, I would include the words Aikido master, and those are the keywords that Google indexes my page for, so that when someone searches for it, that's where that search engine optimization comes into, that pops up.
And also how often you're posting. Do you mind sharing how often you've been posting on these platforms?
Oh, yeah. So I post very often, like 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
So then on Facebook, not on YouTube right now, but Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I am posting like 3 to 4 times a week, which I think is really important for building brand. What do you think?
It is. And do you have your Facebook and Instagram linked? Like you'll post on one and immediately post on the other one?
Yep.
Okay. What about LinkedIn?
Yes.
You're posting separately on LinkedIn?
I'm posting separately, but I'm posting at the same time.
At the same time?
Well, maybe I kind of spread them out a little bit. Like maybe one day Facebook, one day LinkedIn and Instagram. So I don't think I post everything on the same day.
Okay. But you're posting 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Which, I do recommend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do any more, but I definitely wouldn't do any less than that.
So for action steps, right? It would be for you guys listening out there, for your take action kind of steps would be to start posting on your social media. And then relevant stuff that is going to build your brand. So you got your goal, you got your vision, you got your mission, and now put it into words and post about it.
So post weekly.
Yeah.
And also, if you already have an established brand, which, I mean, you should. If you're going to start posting, ideally you would have an established brand, then make sure all your materials are consistent.
Yeah.
And a very basic way to do that is have the same logo across all platforms.
Yeah.
So we can talk about one of our clients who had inconsistencies with their logo across their platforms.
Yes, they had like a different logo on Facebook and they had a different logo on Instagram. It was LinkedIn was different and YouTube was different. And then you kind of made one logo and we kind of put them all out there as the same.
Yeah. And the reason that's a problem when people have inconsistent branding across the platforms is your audience, when they're searching for you and they see different logos, they're going to think, oh, this isn't the same business.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll most likely think this isn't the same business, or they're going to think, oh, they're just not up to date. They're not modern. They're not putting money into their business. So it's going to cause confusion and they're immediately going to click off and go to the next person. But we redid their logo and we used that logo across all of their platforms. And also the profile pictures were very outdated, very just old looking pictures. So we updated that.
Yeah. And then what was interesting, what was really awesome is that you were talking about creating that brand book, right?
The brand guidelines.
Brand guidelines. Yeah. See, I call it the brand book, but the brand
it's
guidelines.
a book. It could be a book.
Yeah. So for you guys listening out there, that's something that you should think about. Like you're starting to build your brand, put together a book or a guidelines that kind of outline exactly the font that you're using, what graphic the colors that you're using and everything, so that across all your social media platforms, it's congruent. It's the same. And so you're not confusing your potential customers.
Yeah. And when it comes to brand guidelines, also it's important to include a copywriter.
Yeah.
Because every business is going to have a different voice, a different way. Like there are words that they're going to use, words that they will prefer to not use depending on what kind of business it is. For example, like I like to think of Gooder, like the sunglass company. Like they're very popular right now. I even saw their sunglasses at REI. And if you go onto their website, they have a very specific way of communicating. Like there's a lot of humor in their copy.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that people forget to include writers when you're building a brand. But that's important too, which is why I mentioned your headlines.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all very clear. I mean, it took me 3 seconds to see, oh yeah, he teaches martial arts.
Yeah. It's amazing. I never really consciously thought about it until we started talking about it. Like I was just trying to build something. So, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are the same, people that got their business, they're making a little bit of money, but they haven't really sat down to build that brand. So I think that is the first step would be Google yourself.
Google yourself. Okay. So what are the action items? Google yourself.
Google yourself, yeah.
Make sure your branding is consistent across all platforms. Post weekly. And also, do you want to talk about, because what you're posting on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, the content might be different than YouTube, because YouTube is really just videos.
Yeah.
While Facebook and Instagram, sometimes they could be videos or reels, but most of the time it's just a post.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much designing for different platforms too.
Yeah.
So do you mind talking about the content you're creating for your business on YouTube versus Instagram, for example? Is that something you think about?
I haven't really thought about it too much, but I know, like from all the books that I've read and all the studying that I've done, is that you do have to tailor the content per social media channel. And it's like the people on Facebook are not the same as the people on Instagram, and the people on YouTube aren't the same as people on Facebook, usually, right? And so then you do have to tailor it towards each individual social channel. So that costs money. But we do have to wrap it up. So then I'm thinking one thing I do want to say is set a Google alert for your name. Like Google yourself and then set a Google alert for your name. Yeah. Okay. So any closing statements?
No, I think it would be fun to continue the YouTube versus Instagram and Facebook talk during our next podcast.
Let's do it. Yeah. And then please, subscribe, follow us for more, keep in touch, email us, comment, do all that great stuff. And we will see you on the next episode of Growth Mode On.